Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 23, Volume 4. Yes, we're getting through them already, we're almost at halfway point. Anyway, this week I've chosen, this is going to be a good one, but it's also going to be a long one. I've chosen a nice C90, look at this beast, it's huge. And it's got data all the way through, because I tested it, I went right to the end. And I rather like the fact, it's got Hunchback Wheelie, Checkered Flag, etc, etc, love it. Side 2, but side A. Just a bit confusing. And on the other side, I said I like the fact that somebody says free, I think. And it is, it's empty. So then the answer to your question, whoever wrote that on there, it's free. It definitely is free. It's empty. But while I was looking through them, though, I picked this one up as well. And I decided to test it, and it says free. I thought it said Fred, but I think it says free. Now, I thought I'd put this on quickly for you, because I wanted to let you hear it, because sometimes people record over them with other things. So let's get the tape deck out, and let's see if we can hit your nostalgia buttons with this one. Ready? Okay, let's put it in. Not much long though, because otherwise I get into trouble for blasting this through. But you ready for this? Here we go. I can tell you, everybody knows exactly what that is. Good old Axel F from the movie Beverly Hills Cop, of course. That's exactly what it was. Somebody recorded that on there. I just kind of enjoyed that, though, that it was actually there. Anyway, so without further ado, though, let's get this beautiful orange tape into the drive and have a go with it. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we'll go down our favourites, which is basic, and load it, and we'll see what we've got on here. What was it, the first one it suggested was on here? Hunchback. Ah, yes, we played Hunchback many a times. This is an arcade conversion from the game of the same name. Funnily enough, though, they split the game into two parts because they realised there was an opportunity to sell it twice. I mean, it's got the cover on it. It's just phenomenal. It's by Bob Wakeland, and it's the second one as well. Bob Wakeland, absolutely beautiful cover. The art, the cartoon art is fantastic. There's Esmeralda in the tower. There is Quasimodo, who's the Hunchback it's from an opera, isn't it? Called The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Which got burnt down recently, actually. They started rebuilding it. I'm not sure that it's the same thing if you rebuild it, but anyway, they're rebuilding it as best they can to the similar sort of standards. But anyway, yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Quasimodo as his name was, and he's basically helping Esmeralda. But as I say, this was originally just one game, but they made it into two games because they realised that they could split it up into a second one very easily. Century Electronics, of course, creating the game. Of course, there it is at the top of the screen. And then the chap who created this was then helped sort of divide it into two games. There's some interesting beeps going on there. That's kind of cool. Feels like it's going to load if that's the case. I can't remember what the keys are, though. This is going to be the interesting thing. I think it's QW. I think that's what it is. I think it's some really weird ones at the top of the thing. QW and space or something like that to jump. All you have to do is make it across the wall and into the bell tower. And of course, the bell tower is the second part of the game. So you've got the second part of the game and bell tower in the full version of the arcade, but not on there. The Commodore 64 version of this, I think I've played that actually. Commodore 64 version is pretty damn good, actually. It's pretty complete. Spectrum version's okay. The Amstrad version I think is okay. But there is another version of this that was created, which was a basic program, and it's appeared on What's on the Tape once or twice, and it's actually quite good. It's really good for a basic program. It's worth a play. It's one of those ones where they've used pokes to sort of make it run faster by literally hitting the machine code to try and speed it up. It's quite a good one, that one, actually. I've got to admit that has turned up before, and it's pretty good. And do you know what, though? I mean, listening to the beginning of before, just listening to the Axel Foley, the tune there. I can't remember what it is. Axel F is the name of the tune. I think it is, isn't it? You know, do 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 do. You know the one. Anyway, but that one was that Jean-Michel Jarre or whatever it was. Something like that. Didn't he do things like Miami Vice? I rather liked that synthwave kind of sound. I guess that's what it was. That's more a little bit further away from synthwave, but that kind of sound, rather like that actually. But I was thinking about this. I was thinking that the 80s and early 90s, they really did know how they were pitching these things. These were action movies pitched at men. Teenage men, more sort of middle-aged men, basically men, who wanted sort of manly, heroic stuff, good old Bruce Willis as John McClane, doing yippee-ki-yay and all this kind of stuff, and now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho, yeah, that kind of stuff. We wanted that kind of stuff because if you think about as well, of course, Axel Foley was played by Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I know there's a new movie coming. There's a fourth one actually. Third one was pretty dreadful, but there was 1 and 2 were pretty good, and they were good fun. They were a good combination of action and humour combined because of Eddie Murphy himself. Eddie Murphy was a master, of course, of breaking the fourth wall. You've got Trading Places where there's a particular point where they're being very patronising, and it's, and let's be honest, there was that overtone of possible. Well, not overtone. There was the racism that was there of the time, and there is a particular point where Eddie Murphy breaks the fourth wall because he knows that it's there, and we know as the audience that that's actually there, and he kind of reminds us that this isn't right, even back in the 80s, and that's Trading Places, but that's also worth watching just for Jamie Lee Curtis. Ooh, great body. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. We like a bit of Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, she was great in True Lies as well. Yeah. That's me thinking a little too hard about that. That was just let me just drink my coffee and behave myself for a second. Need a breather now after that. But yeah, action movies were very much knew their target audience, and so did computer games, and so did other things. And they knew their target audience, and that's what they sold to. And they didn't try and move too far away from that approach. Let's see if I can get these keys and see if it's right. I think it's QW. Space. What's the jump? What's jump? What's jump? What's jump? What's jump? What's jump? Is it cap shift or something like that? Probably is cap shift. I can feel it. I can feel it being a cap shift game. Oh, what's the jump? Come on. Oh, never mind. 1. What's the jump? Symbol shift. Come on. It's symbol shift. Of course it is. Alright. There we go. And we get our little we grab the super bells. Very simple game. I mean, remember when it was designed, it was back in the 80s. It was a very simplistic game. Doodle-doo. Do. I noticed that they've stuck with the theme, and they're very short. They used child soldiers. You can see climbing up there. There's a little child soldier. He's going to come and try and stab me in the back in a second. I dropped off the edge. I stepped forward instead of just jumping it. Let's press the button and we'll do number 1. I know what we're doing now, so we're okay. We've got more lives. You can see at the bottom there's like your progress. The bottom left there's progress, how far you've got through the level. And of course you get your points from jumping on the bell. So we get 900. I think that's the best you can do though. It's like 1,000, I think. There's a little timer that goes down. And then you go from there. Come on. And then we jump up, and we're there. Doo-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And then, boom. And then jump up there. Doo-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. They poke you in the scrotum if you stand too close to them. Look, they're very pokey sticks. And as the score goes up massively as you go along. And now we've got the meatball, or meat, whatever it is. Oh, I did exactly what I wasn't meant to be doing. I headbutted a meatball. I think it just loops around after you finish this. I don't think I've ever finished it, but I think that's what it does. Oh, you idiot! You got chopped in the foot. You checked my shoe size. And then wait for the meatball. And then jump again. No, just walk straight into it rather than doing the meatball. Ah, God, I forgot this. This is the one where you've got to jump. The blowing thing that comes at you. Can't remember how you do this. It's not jumping that way. You have to jump. Do I have to jump straight up? Yeah, I have to jump straight up. Almost instantaneously. So I don't turn around, just jump straight up. Oh, I've got my name in the high score table. Wow. Pretty simple, realistically, as a game. Shift to end. There we go. Paul Owens, Mandy, Pam, Richard K. Oh, lovely. Nice to see them all. Anyway, let's move on. We've had a little play on that one already, and quite enjoyed that one. That was a good one. It was a good start. Let's see. This should be Wheelie. I always thought Wheelie was kind of a psychedelic thing. It'll press play before I even downloaded it. Psychedelic. I found it a very, very surreal experience. I don't know about anybody else, but I always thought of it as a bit weird. It's like you've got a motorcycle on platforms and hedgehogs. And I don't know about anybody else, but I found that to be quite weird, really. Because it was a platformer where you continually went forward, and then when you actually got to the end, you had to then race the Ghost Rider back to the start. I think they then got rid of all the obstacles bar the routes through. I can't remember. I never really actually was ever very good at it. But I remember doing. Oh no, it's Android 2. Oh well, this is even better. But yeah, I always found Wheelie to be quite a surreal experience. Is it just me? Anybody else find it was surreal? I think though, I'll be let's talk about the past again. I found quite a lot of ZX Spectrum games to be quite surreal experiences. I saw somebody recently reviewed the game Apple Jam, which is a really weird game where you have to eat jam to stop the rats growing large enough to kill you, while eating diet pills or something similar to keep your weight down because you've just been eating a load of jam. I mean, to be fair, there must be easier ways to catch rats than say, deal with the jam leaks within a factory than eating the jam that leaks out of it. It's a very weird game. It has a beautifully surreal sort of cover with a rat on the front, an apple, a jam. I think it's called Apple Jam, isn't it, the game? Apples, jams, apples, and a human being. It's a quite surreal cover. It's quite brightly coloured, bright yellow, main sort of primary colour for. Got to admit, I would still want a copy of that. I would definitely still want a copy of that. I think that's a phenomenal game. Right. Anyway, but Android 2. This is another one which has got what I would call a beautiful, beautiful cover. If you haven't got a copy of it, you should have a copy of it. It's got. It would. If I was going to call it anything, I would call it Art Deco, so 1920s style art design. You'll have seen it. It's that kind of beautifully sort of penned and inked and subtly coloured but extremely detailed art, and that's what's on the front cover of this. There's an android with a sort of a single beaming head sort of lamp fighting a snake, which is one of these millipedoids, which is these things you're hunting down as the Android 2. It's like Blade Runner but with less Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer. Which, by the way, somebody said this to me the other day about Blade Runner 2049. We didn't need to do another Blade Runner, and they did a clever thing with that. They reset even what had happened between the Tyrell Corporation, i.e., where they made the Blade Runner, the replicants from, to the modern day one. But the point being, they didn't need to do another one, and realistically, I don't want them to dig up Harrison Ford. Please leave him alone. He's nearly 90. Stop digging him up and putting him in films. Do you know why they're doing that? It's to give credibility to the crap that they're churning out. And I'm going to stick with that statement. It's to give credibility to films that we used to love, or franchises we used to love, by piling in the actors who are now... They should have done these movies 30 years ago, not 20 years ago, That's what they should have done. But anyway, here we go. Ooh, keyboard layout. AQ, OP... That's and space to fire. I'm good with it. I love it when they put that on the screen. It's very cool, isn't it? K for keyboard. Brup, brup, brup. I love this because this is like a pseudo. It's not quite isometric because it's not the right angle. It's like a slightly different angle. But Android 2. I love when you do instructions as well because it tells you all about things that are doing there. The millipoidoid mission. It's like playing Helldivers, but not. They're equipped with a photon blaster and unlimited power. Unlimited power. Yeah, I'm sure there's a movie where they say they got unlimited power in it. It's and then they usually die. Shoot them in the head 3 times to kill them. There's hoveroids. Blaster will kill them. Bouncers are indestructible but predictable. Landmines, teleporters, and capsules. You've got to kill 5 of them. Yes, 5 of them. Number to destroy, and then you basically get beamed out of there. So time left before the capsule departs, and then there's a directional thing at the bottom there. So let's see if we can do it. Sustain 5 direct hits. Ooh, right, okay. No. Prepare for combat. I'm prepared for combat. Are you prepared for combat? A little timer there. I loved these guys by Vortex Software. They made some really, really good games. There's one up there. There's one. Got to shoot it 3 times in the head though to get it to work. That's him. Let's get this here. Shoot him again. And got killed, but that's my first millipedoid down. I should have moved. I didn't realise I wasn't going to be able to kill him in a... Oh, sugar. Oh, sugar. Go, go, go. Come on. The graphics are fantastic. They use this again for several things. They use it for Cyclone and TLL, this style of graphic. And you know what? It's blooming brilliant. It looks great. It does. It looks really good. I mean, I've got Android 1, which is the first one, which is a slightly different feel altogether. Oh, hang on. He's coming my way. I was destroyed. I nearly got him as well there. Alright, if he hadn't run into me, I would have got him there. That was quite good. Yeah, but they used a slightly different game, but it's really good. Costa Panyani? Don't know the guy, but anyway, that was 1983, so that's a year after the Spectrum, roughly, year after the Spectrum was released. And it's a phenomenal game. It really is. It's really good. It's well worth investing in it just for the cover. The cover is just sexy. It really is. It's such a lovely art style on the cover of it. Android 1's slightly different. It's a bright red cover, I remember rightly. Just a slightly different feel to it, but it was yeah, different. What's this? RBG. No idea. This is a good tape. These are good tapes. I like these tapes because we have no idea. You have no idea. I have no idea. Well, then the best part of no idea is we can actually enjoy what's on here. You know, that's what it's all about. What's on the tape. You know, the finding out what people put on their tapes back in the day, from Axel F's music to whatever else. As I say, I do enjoy a bit of synthwave. Recently, though, I rewatched, and it's been a while since I've rewatched it. I forgot how gritty it was. I rewatched Drive, very stylized, you know, with Ryan Gosling in it. But I forgot how much synthwave music is in it. And it's a lovely synthwave soundtrack that goes with that. It's just all over it. Neon is there. It is a thing over it. Yeah, it's probably set. When do you think it's set? I think it's set in the 90s, early 2000s. But it's definitely a thing. It's pretty cool. What's this? The Royal Birkdale Championship Golf by F. David Thorpe. Thorne. Thorpe? Something like that, anyway. Golf games. I have this. I don't think I have ever loaded it. So this is a new one as well. This is a bit of golf, walking around the golf courses. See what we can do on that. Bit of coffee. Let's get some beverage in me. Oh, I do hope you've got a beverage. I hope you've got a drink. Had a few technical issues with my own sort of computer equipment this week, so I've had to have a. If you watch my other sort of things like Euro Truck Simulator, I really only got to do Euro Truck Simulator, the 20p arcade challenge this week. If you haven't watched that. And this basically, I think I'm going to do one more video on some new game that I've got. I'm tempted to do it on something that I've fallen mightily in love with, which is Helldivers 2, for a light service game with a dungeon master of its own. It is actually quite a change from the usual crap where you've got to sort of pay continually with the release of new content. Their content stays permanently, so there's no need to rush to buy. And you don't have to buy it. You can earn the credits in game, which are relatively common in their nature. So just playing the game allows you to earn the credits to buy what's known as war bonds, and allow you to collect medals from playing the game anyway, to open up the bits and pieces in it. So basically everything's about playing the game, nothing's about doing anything else. And there's no real costs involved in it, which is really nice for what isn't seen as a AAA game, because if it's not £70 or £60, it's not a AAA game nowadays. So at £35, it's definitely not a AAA game. But I've had hours of play out of it. I've put about 140 hours into it thus far, and I've had it for about 3 weeks. So I've been playing it practically every day, just taking a little bit of time just to enjoy the process and sort of go around and destroy stuff, and play it with my daughter as well. So we've been really enjoying that together. Well, I think that's the importance of games, isn't it? But here's what I was looking at some interesting sort of videos by a number of people, to be honest with you. And here's the thing: people nowadays, and this is modern gaming for the most part, are now playing games that are effectively quite old. So they are playing, the ones when they're playing live service games like Fortnite and other things, they're repeating a game that's now, Fortnite's now 8 years old, and people are still playing the same game. They are playing the same thing over and over again because time is precious, and the game that you understand and you recognise is the game that you continually, persistently play. My playing of games now is really, I find it. I mean, I love doing this. By the way, this is such a hark back to the nostalgia of Spectrum stuff. But my habit for playing modern games is they're not that modern often. They're often quite old. I mean, I keep going back, and this is the thing: keep going back to a game that's now 12 years old. The Long Dark. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's simple to play, and I enjoy it. But this is what people are doing. They're not playing modern-day games. They're playing games that are 8 or even 10 years old. Euro Truck Simulator is up to 12 years old now. And people are still playing that game, but not choosing newer games. It's a very hard market now, because people don't have the time to invest in a game that basically you play forever. It's an interesting concept, playing forever. Not games that you finish, not single-player adventures that you enjoy like a story or a movie that you can then rewatch and replay. No, your game we play forever. Right, let's put my name in. Here we go. That's me. The Royal Birkdale. Do you wish to have the wind effects? No, because I can tell that's going to be a bad thing. Here we go. We are drawing the green. No, it's not the green. It's the fairway, isn't it? It's the fairway. Oh, look, it looks like Crazy Golf. This is shot 1. Press enter to play. I am pressing enter to play. Direction. Direction. Wonder where. I wonder where 0 is. Let's find out where 90 degrees is. Club. 1? Are they the heaviest? I don't know what's heaviest. Strength 50? Okay, what's he going to do? I'm going to hit it from the tee. Okay, go. And he's hit it. Where am I? Straight down the fairway. Oh, there. Right, so 90 was right. Enter to play. Direction 90, because that's 90 degrees that way. Club, is it 10, should we say? Is that the heaviest club? Strength 75. And then he's swinging on the fairway. I haven't moved it. I'm trying to break into it. Oh, broke it. List. There you go. It's all basic, that one. All basic, and some graphics that have been loaded. No, I'm not very excited by that. I don't know about you, but that wasn't getting the juices flowing, as they say. It was definitely not. It was not exciting me in any way. Definitely wasn't. Let's see what else is on here. I've never been. There have been a few golf games that I've liked, and it almost feels bad. Right, this is back in the day when Microsoft wasn't the big bad beast that it is nowadays. This is back in the it's the second part. Back in 1999, they released Microsoft Golf. I quite enjoyed that one. It's very simple. You push the button to start swinging, and you push another button when you hit the strength you want, and you push the same button again to do the left and right, whatever it is, slice or hook, isn't it? That's what it is. It's amazing, actually, know all this terminology, because I run into a lot of golfers. It's really weird. My line of work, when you run it, it seems to be. I don't know. I think it's an excuse to go outside. And bear with me on this context. I spent my whole life as a kid trying to stay inside to play my Spectrum, but I wasn't allowed. But I think that playing golf, of course, is when you get to a certain level within companies. I think they use it as an excuse so they can go off and have some drinks and whatever else is, and maybe not work as hard. Possibly. Maybe. Could be. A bit of fun. Finally go whack a ball around, and if you go fast enough, because it's one of the few sports there, if you're really good at the game, you effectively, it shortens the game that you play. So you do really well. It's not like playing a game of football where it's 90 minutes, and it's going to be 90 minutes in beginning to end. It's like the better you get, the faster you go around the golf course, and the faster you go around the golf course. I mean, if you're really good, you get a hole in one in every one. 18 holes later, that was it. You'd be in the club bar having a few drinks, because that's basically what it involves. I think it's that social element, isn't it? Not a social element I've enjoyed. I have whacked a few golf balls in the past. Never quite got into it. Never really my thing. Anybody play golf? Anybody in the comments play golf? You probably have your own. It depends where you live. I find that when I deal with people who are over the border in Scotland, there's like 3 golf courses in every town. I mean, every town I go to, there's a golf course. I mean, literally every town's got a golf course. It's very much a national pastime. Interesting. I'm just thinking aloud to myself right then. So we've had the first part of this. Now we've got low 2. Not sure what low 2 is. It's in load 2, second side of the tape. Nothing that exciting. Yes, the movies of the past were fantastic. The 80s was good, and the 90s. They're very much genres chosen based on what people wanted to watch and view. Didn't need to be hesitate to use the word necessarily inclusive, because you knew your target audience was not going to be the people, normal people. I mean, if you took, I doubt you'd take your girlfriend to see, Die Hard or Predator. Do you know what made me laugh? So I went to see Predator again for its, was it 15th or 20th, maybe 30th anniversary. I don't know how old it is. It's probably 30th anniversary. Went to see it at a proper sort of, big one of these big cinemas with all the Dolby surround sound and all that. Your score for the first 9 was, oh my God, welcome to the back 9. It was 9. You were out in 9. Oh my God. Welcome back. Wind effects, no. And it's back to the same thing. Draw it again. Anyway, but I went to see Predator again at the Pictures. It probably was the 30th anniversary, to be honest with you. So I went to see it. Oh, they've changed the way it looks. So it's swinging at the bottom now instead of the top, but it's the same difference. Taping the same numbers and all the other bits and pieces. I don't want to watch it anymore, do you? No, I know you don't. Come on, let's see what else is on here. I don't want to play any more of that. But I went to see Predator, and what struck me most was how dreadfully the sounds were mixed. You could literally they put the sounds of the forest down and they overwrote it sort of at certain points, and they would just like kick in. All of a sudden, be like crickets and whatever else, the noise of the jungle, and then it would be off, and then it'd be on, and how dreadful that noise. It just didn't reverberate, and the fact it was just basically stereo, and there wasn't all the clever effects you have nowadays, and the sound was dreadful. I mean, the movie was fantastic. It's great to see it on the big screen. I'll be honest, never saw it as a kid on the big screen, but seeing it on the big screen was brilliant. It really was. Me and my friend went to see it, and actually a few friends went to see it. But that was, for the most part, that was boys going to see a macho movie about men in forests shooting at an alien. Can't see my missus going to see that. I don't see how it would happen. Look at that, this crazy game. It's just a mental thing. And the thing is, if you'd bought this, the cover basically has a man on a motorcycle like leaping over something. You would have thought it was like something like Evel Knievel or something like that. You would have thought, or Eddie Kidd's Jump Challenge. That's what you'd have had in your head. And it's just so not. It's so something else. It's so different in comparison. It's just fantastic. I really like it. I love the fact, though, that you've got what I'd call scramble bikes at the bottom, those sort of off-roading bikes, and then the top, he's driving some kind of sports bike with a huge sort of wing on the front of it to take the air out of it and whatever else. I don't know what's happening actually in my hometown today, but the motorway was full of motorcyclists going south. Well, just loads of them, hundreds and hundreds of bikes with sidecars and everything, and those kind of posh bikes that look really nice, the beautiful Triumphs and the Harleys and other things like that, the big ones. When Honda used to make big bikes like the Goldwing and things like that, there were all that kind of stuff going on. Goldwing's like driving a car but with 2 wheels. That's certainly what I've seen when I've seen those things. It's driving a car with 2 wheels. It's not quite a 3-wheeler. It's not Robin Reliant. It's not that kind of thing. God, the Robin Reliant. There's an entire near me. There's an entire graveyard of Robin Reliants, and I mean like a graveyard. You've never seen so many. There's like 70 cars there, all Robin Reliants, just rotting away. It just makes you wonder whether or not that's where they sent them to die or something similar. Like the Qatari did with all of its old stock, just buried it because it was cheaper than try to dispose of it properly. That's mad though, disposing of it properly things, isn't it? I still find that whole story of burying stuff in the desert because it was so bad. But it wasn't because it was E.T. was bad. I always felt very sorry for the guy who wrote that, because he literally, that was like the last game he wrote for Atari, and everybody said it was the worst game they'd ever seen and ever played. And you've got to remember, the same guy who did Yar's Revenge, and he quit the industry. He stopped being a programmer and became a psychiatrist, and it was a very low point in his life. And I felt, do you know how dreadful is that? Considering this is the Atari where they were partying their way through developing games, and there's nothing wrong with that realistically. The party can continue. Look, take Steam, for instance, a company with a total lack of management but the experience to allow people to grow. Hiring the best to work with them and doing that. But yeah, Atari was one of those people who pissed their lead up a wall, didn't they? They were a bit like Microsoft at the moment when they had the lead of the Xbox 360 and now they're on a great big plummet of they're basically that drunken guy who's continued to stay drunk since 2005 when the Xbox 360 was launched and beat Sony for the first time. They're still punch drunk from that. They're still remember that you'll have seen that meme where the guy's like kissing the woman and opening the champagne and biting the metal and saying how good he is even though he's absolutely bottom. That's where Microsoft is at the moment. I think that's where they've got to realistically with their whole things. Instructions. You're trapped in a strange road. Only hope of escape is to find the Ghost Rider and then beat him in a life or death race. It is actually life or death. At the start of one end of the system of roads, while the Ghost Rider dozes at the other end, find him and head right past the hazards, and then backtrack to the dead zone. Oh my God! I know that. What are the keys? It's just letters all over the screen. Right. Right. Freeze. Top row, so up, down, left, right. That's it, I've got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, fuel, jumps, humps, demonstration, joystick, keyboard, bottom row. I haven't got a key code, so you basically got this thing, and it's a motorcycle, and you can push up and down, and that makes you go up and down the things. You got to make sure you get fuel. So I'm going to have to push down here to make sure it goes down properly, look. And push up here. And get some gas on the way past. It's a really weird game. I'm going to push up here to go up here. I'll have to turn around in a second. And I'm not going fast enough. And there's points to be get by those circles. There's one of them mental hedgehogs. Bouncing hedgehogs. And there's codes, of course. This is one of the games that featured codes to get to different levels. So, of course, they were posted in every Sinclair magazine. No! I'm dead. And then... if you go up and down things, by the way, too fast, you die as well. Up we go. And then up here... it's a very weird game. Go through this slowly, otherwise we're in trouble. It's a patch of ice. There we go, got some points there. Full tilt. There's some gas down here. There we go, gas. Past this hedgehog down here. Bouncing hedgehog, you see this is called, the level's called. No! Eaten by a hedgehog. Scoffed by a deadly big hedgehog. Oh, jumped! Went too far. Too fast. Okay, hands up who knew I was going to do that. Everybody. Right, down we go. Hang on, we're right back at the beginning. Was I near the Ghost Rider? Is that why? Was that what it was? It's too close to the Ghost Rider. And it made me go all the way back. Oh, no, hang on. No, we're not back at the beginning. I don't want to go past you. There we go, past. Okay, going up and down. You see what I would say? It's a bit weird. It's like a motorcycle in a cave thing. It's like playing Minecraft with a bus. Minecraft with a bus? Minecraft with a motorcycle. Gonna assume that's gonna turn around like that. Yep. I am gonna have to jump the bus after I get past the hedgehog. No! There was bus jumping time there. Dee-do-dee-do. And that's it, game over. Wow, Wheelie, what a strange. Welcome to the world of Wheelie, it's so strange. I really like it, though. I don't know about you, but I like that one. I do like that one. It was one that I was quite pleased to get. And when I first played it, I think I did play it on a special mix back in the day. But I was quite pleased to get that one. Quite a good game. Quite a nice game. Okay, let's see what we got now. Something interesting, hopefully. Something fun. Maybe. Fun would be good. Let's have fun. Let's have some fun. Let's have a fun one as well. That was a fun one, though, wasn't it? Oh, Checkered Flag. We know Checkered Flag. We've played Checkered Flag many a times. Checkered Flag is one of those sort of legendary games where there's basically a billion of them out there. There's I don't know how many were released in the you know when they did the Spectrum Plus, which is the 48K Plus. When they did the Plus one, I wonder how many. How many packs were sold, because they sold it with a pack of games that included the ever so mighty Maker Chip, which a friend of mine is sending me because it's like minty fresh apparently. Maker Chips. I've got like 12 of them. You know, everybody's got Maker Chip. Everybody's got Checkered Flag. But you all forget how good Checkered Flag is. Checkered Flag's actually one of the better ones of the other games that came from that pack. But I wonder how many went out. I mean, if there was a total of 5 million Spectrum sold in the UK worldwide, countrywide. I wouldn't say worldwide because they were cloned like crazy in the behind the Iron Curtain as was back in the 80s. But they were but there was a good majority of those. I wonder if they sold like 1 million of those in a one. I wonder if there's 1 million Checkered Flags out there. I bet there is, you know. I bet there was 1 million Checkered Flags out there. Mind you saying that, it might not even be that. I mean, Nintendo did well, didn't they? They did their idea. They sold Mario with one of their units, and Sonic was sold by Mega Drive or Genesis. So the US version of it. We'll not do the US version. We'll do the European and Japanese version, considering it's Japanese in the first place. Mega Drive did that. You know, they basically though they sold a load of them with the machines. So they ended up selling like 22 million of them because that's the number of machines he sold. So that kind of clever move for a game to be, I guess, top of the charts realistically in that sense. If you took that into account, I bet they would be blooming top of the charts every time. I think worldwide though, the biggest selling game now is Minecraft by an obscene number. I think it's even overtaken Tetris. Tetris is very popular. Tetris is a game that was very popular back in the day and very popular now. I still think it's a good game. I still think it's great. I think it's nice that if you've just got the basic Nintendo Switch cloud save option that you can buy, and I don't think it's for multiplayer. I think they let you play the multiplayers without having to have it, but you can have the basic cloud save thing and the some add-ons, they include it with the Game Boy version of it. There's a Game Boy version of Tetris now. And my daughter's quite obsessed by it. She really does enjoy it. The Game Boy version of Tetris. I remember playing it on the Game Boy. I still have a Game Boy, so I have the deluxe version. I like the deluxe version. I like it when it got a few colours and went with it. But it was just a great little console, wasn't it? It was simple. Start, select, A and B button, and a little joystick. And this is where your Nintendos of the world, they shine, don't they? They did the DS. And that became the 2DS and 3DS, and of course now they've got the Switch, and they're very good at you don't have to be the most powerful device, you just have to have the best games. It's an entertainment industry, isn't it? It's an entertainment industry at the end of the day. This is what this is all about. The Spectre at the back in the day was fantastic. Do you know what though? It's really weird. I was talking to somebody the other day about this. I was talking about the decision that W.H. Smith's and the John Menzies group made to stop publishing and producing computer games because one of their executives has sat down and described how it was a market that was an elite, free fall. Look at what the US is happening in the US with their consoles. But that's because the market in the US was saturated by consoles. There was no way to program at home, whereas the UK market was saturated by home computers. The resulting effect was there was still homebrew, what's now called homebrew. There was still a market for people to create games at home and sell those games to other people. And that executive, I can imagine he's passed away by now, but I can imagine that must have been dreadful seeing the way it changed throughout time and then didn't become what he thought it was going to be. Anyway, let's have a look. I want Silverstone, I think. Let's do 2 laps. I want the McFaster Special. And there's a reason why, because the McFaster Special has automatic gears, so we want that. Sorry, enter. And then, what's the accelerate? Never remember what the keys are. I for instructions. Does it actually tell you? Another. Right, I'm going to do it again. I'm not accelerating here, by the way. I'm pushing buttons now to see what I can do. Oh, I just paused that. Yeah, I have. I never remember the keys. No! Turn! Yeah, it used to be very good back in the day. If you can work out what the bloody keys are, it'll be lovely. But I can't remember the keys are, so I'm just going to crash it to the side there and leave it at that. Just a beautiful bit of crashing. Nothing more exciting than a bit of crashing. We've seen it a billion times before. It's out there. It's a game that many of us had, but it was sadly underloved. It was loved, but later it's just become, when people see it on sort of the sales markets and all this kind of stuff, people are like, oh god, more copies of Checkered Flag. And I don't quite see it that way. I've probably got 11 copies myself, but I still keep it pride of place. It's the fourth title in on my Sinclair sort of title range. It's the fourth one in, so I do love it. It's one of those ones that I do love. I should have got it down, shouldn't I, and read the instructions. That would have been more sensible, wouldn't it, instead of letting it not give me the instructions. But we got The Hobbit now. The Hobbit is... have you seen the was it the Rings of Power or whatever it is? I don't know what it is on Amazon. $1 billion flop from all accounts. Taking Tolkien's carefully crafted world and basically saying, "Well, we don't read that stuff." They did. The showrunners actually came out and went, "They haven't read any of it." Right, that's good. But you're meant to be writing a story based in that universe. How the hell can you write that? How can you write that? How can you write something like that? Didn't like the grandson of Tolkien come out and go, "That's a disaster" or something similar? Bet he did. I don't know what. Stay away from that kind of stuff. Sometimes Amazon gets it right. Sometimes it gets it wrong. Fallout TV series, really good. If you're a Fallout fan and you've watched Fallout and you've played the game, you will enjoy the Fallout series. It's a bit weird. It takes a bit getting used to, but if you play Fallout, you'll understand completely. Not that I'd want to support something owned by Microsoft, but there it is. But it's pretty good. It's a good series. The Boys. Being made by Amazon and Gen V, the sub one, are pretty damn good. There's been a bit of gender changes and a few ethnicity changes from the comic books, because there would be. It doesn't. To be fair, it hasn't affected the story thus far, so I'm hoping that's going to continue to be the same as it is throughout. It has changed some of the outcomes of some of the things. It's changed a few items within it, but genuinely, it's because it's pretty damn close to. Well, not close. It's not close at all, but it's pretty damn good if you understand the original universe. See, I'm not gatekeeping it. I don't believe in gatekeeping it. I don't mind if you remake it. I mean, Marvel and DC have done it for years. They've taken beloved characters, given them to somebody else, and allowed them to create a new story with them. As long as you fit within the character arc that character has, or the character sort of, the canon that is that character. I think that's fair. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what they're doing with The Boys, and Gen V is pretty much, within that universe as far as I can tell. So I agree with that. I mean, they did The Preacher. For me, though, The Preacher's very hard not to gatekeep on, because it is a genuinely fantastic story, one of my absolute favourites. Whether or not I loved it as much on Amazon is a big question mark. Wasn't as convinced by it on Amazon as I was by the comic book, but that's probably because The Preacher by Garth Ennis is the best comic book series ever written. Big bold statement, but I'm going to stick by it. I genuinely think if you've ever read The Preacher, you will agree with me wholeheartedly that's my number one. That's my number one comic. I can't think of anything else that can beat it. I've never read a single set of comics, and I'm an avid reader. I've been a bit of a hiatus for a couple of years now, but I have not read anything in the last few years that I've not been reading as much, but I haven't read anything good enough to change my mind on that. The one that my friend wants me to finish off, and it's about 4,000 billion pages, is American Vampire. He says that's worth. He says that's worth a read. So I'm gonna give that a try at some point. We'll see what happens. Oh, we go. You're in a comfortable tunnel-like hall, and Gandalf is here. Let's open the chest. There's a wooden chest, yes. Yeah, look again. I always get this wrong, because I always end up getting, I don't know, I almost get upset with Gandalf and grab him by the testes or whatever it is. Oh, right, what's in the chest? Examine chest. Oh, examine chest. Oh, for God's sake. Get contents, I can't spell. Get of chest. Get all. I for inventory. A curious map. Read map. But you can't read them. Give the map to Gandalf. Oh. East. And dreary hills ahead. Right, okay. Of course, this is where I'm Bilbo Baggins, aren't I, rather than Frodo. I'm thinking of the next one where it's Frodo. Let's wait. North. Control. Wouldn't make a. Let's go south then. Let's go southwest. Let's go north. The hideous troll eats you. You are dead. Great news. Fantastic. It's foul gluttony. Foul glutton has killed the hideous troll. So I choked the troll to death with my bony body. That's good to know. At least he died. This is one of these weird games. I remember when this came out. It came in a big. Did this one come in a big box as well? No, this one came in this weird box where it didn't even have a cover. It was just a black cardboard box, and then on top of it, Melbourne House has put the label and the instruction label. So the instructions they put them on the front, but when you take it off or you open it up, then you've just got this big black cardboard box instead of something with a label on it. It's a bit crap. They re-released it in a jeweled case, which obviously had a front cover, and then I'm fair, I'm loath to pay for it because it's not one of my favourite things. I've never been a big fan of text adventures. I didn't mind a few. There's a few I liked. I mean, I've got all the double play adventures. There's some really weird ones amongst those. I like the hexagonal museum. I like the it was Humpty's Tales that came from it. There were some weird ones on there, but I kind of like those. But I was never a massive fan of the text adventure as such. Valhalla is a game that I've always wanted to get into, but never quite did it. I was watching where we get this is back on a drive, So I was. This is because. A friend at work is a bit of a fan of the director of Drive. I can't remember his Renfen or whatever it is. I think that's what it is. He's a bit of a fan of him. He thinks he's a great sort of director. Funnily enough, he's doing the Railway Children for the BBC at the moment. That's very weird. But he's throwing the Drive to the Railway Children. He did things like Only God Forgives and things like that, movie things. He also did Viking Rising, which is one with, you'll know one of the actors, I can't remember his name. Danish thing anyway. But Rise of the Vikings, and it's a pretty grim tale. It's good, but it's grim. It's let's just say if you've ever seen the movie Deliverance, there's a little bit of that goes on. It's not a pleasant thing, but obviously the usual Viking cannibalism because they love a bit of that. So we've got that kind of thing going on. But of course they call the place where they're at Valhalla. Which is obviously Viking heaven, effectively, where you go when you're a Viking and you're gonna go. You're passing away and you get burnt on your longboat. This is where you go to. And do they do the coins on their eyes as well? Oh, that's gone very black. Can't see anything on the screen there. That's gone very black indeed, hasn't it? All of a sudden. Alright, that one didn't load. First one. Let's see if there's something else, and then we'll go back to Valhalla. I'll reload it from something else because I've got that knocking around. But yeah, so I'm sure they had. I know we're talking like boatman and all this kind of stuff when we're talking about loading, sort of death and all that. But I'm pretty convinced that the Vikings did something similar, so that you had something to pay for your way in, or were you fighting your way in? But of course, again, this kind of rolls back into something else here. The story of Senua's Sacrifice and Senua's Story, the game by Ninja Theory, R.I.P. I know they're not gone yet, but they will be, because Microsoft doesn't do single-player games because they've got no replayability apparently, and plus there's no extra money in it, no live service. But oh yeah, classic. But a damn good bloody tape, this one. So anyway, yeah. So but that's a Viking story. I do recommend these, by the way. These Senua games by Ninja Theory are well worth playing. I mean, the first one wasn't obviously backed by Microsoft. The second one is, but I do recommend them. I think they're a blooming good. They're a damn good sort of psychological game. We're really well done. I love the story of it though. That they were looking for a look and a voice and a feel for it, and they got the lady in HR to sort of pose for it, and then speak for it. Just because, well, the small house. We'll see what we can do, and she just fit the role. So she became the character in the games. She became the Senua, and she does the voice for it and everything. And I think that's really nice. What a lovely thing to happen, the big game enough to I'll fill in for the actor right now, and then discovering that you are going to be the actor forever. That's a fantastic thing, isn't it? What a lovely thing to happen. What a lovely, lovely thing to happen. Yeah, lovely. It is. Just waiting for this to load now. Just seeing somebody getting some lovely things on WhatsApp that they just got from in the post. So Andre's watching. I've just seen your little post there about your Sinclair user magazines. Fantastic. Got a little collection of Sinclair user magazines and the Aces compilation. The one where you got. Can't remember what the ones were, but they were there. Brilliant game. Art to redefine, I think it is. Yes, it is. Up, down, left, right, space to jump. S to start. One for a one-player game. Here we go. I'm rubbish at Chucky Egg though. I'm gonna get into trouble here though, because there's so many good Chucky Egg players in the Spectrum community, and I am in comparison. I'm a bit of a letdown. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Chucky Egg letdown because I'll get to about level 5 and then I'll struggle as usual. I fell off there. I didn't mean to. And I'll run. There we go. Delete. Time up. Collecting the eggs. Harry Henhouse, who looks like an egg because he's eaten so many of them in the middle of his. I can't believe I just fell off there. What an idiot! And he's so fat around the middle there that he literally looks like an egg, and I think that's wonderful. I think it's brilliant. Harry is an egg loving fat dude with very fast feet because his feet move extremely fast. There we go. Up we go. I remember playing this with a friend of mine. He had it on the Amstrad, and I put the Amstrad on, and I put this on. He hadn't played it for like 30 plus years, and he still got to level 16. And it's just embarrassing when I'm like, here you go, play a game you played from years ago. Still remembered it. It's like muscle memory, just fantastic. Perfect gameplay muscle memory. Can't really beat that, I suppose, can you? I love the way that if you leave the seed, they eat the seed. Oh, fell off. I'm rubbish today. But yeah, this perfect muscle memory. Somebody was asking about Chucky Egg 2 the other day, and the thing about Chucky Egg 2 is that basically the people who made this, was A&F Games or something? Anyway, the people who made this, they basically made a new Chucky Egg game. There we go. They made another one that was similar in style, I guess, to Jet Set Willy 2, or Jet Set Willy, should I say, because Jet Set Willy was took the original concept of Manic Miner and turned it into that. Oh God, I'm doing rubbish there. Changed it to the concept of actual, extended levels, places to romp around, and all that kind of stuff. And I think they wanted to do exactly the same with Chucky Egg. I don't think they implemented it quite as well as they did in Jet Set Willy, but at the same time, blooming brilliant. Nice to see that. Realistically, I played it it's called Chucky Egg, because it's a chocolate factory, you see, of course. I played it back in Easter for around then, because of course you have to play an Easter game around Easter. There's not that many Easter games. I need more Easter games. Not many Easter movies either, horror movies. There is the Beaster Bunny, but I'll let you Google that yourself. There was one of those. It's a very, very weird game. Weird game. Very weird movie is the Beaster Bunny. Let's just say somebody realised that there was an avenue here for to create an Easter horror movie with the worst CGI you've ever seen. But if you add the combination of, you sex it up a little bit, that tends to improve the. Oh damn it! I'm absolutely rubbish today. Really rubbish. 10,000 points. Next nothing at all. Is that my last life as well? No, I've got one life left. Blow my neck. It's close. Yeah, Oh, that was close. So sex it up a little bit. And then what am I doing? Sex it up a little bit. It'll be more interesting. To be honest with you, it's a dreadful movie. I still watch the whole thing now. I've got a bit of a reputation for watching these things. Honestly, I've probably watched some of the guff you've never really want to watch. I do watch them. Sometimes though you find really good stuff. I mean, think about Peter Jackson. Sorry, the man Peter Jackson, and we'll go on to Stephen Jackson in a minute. But Peter Jackson, the director of the Hobbit and all those things, he basically cut his teeth on a homemade movie. Bad Taste, it was called. It's phenomenal. It's really good. It took him like 7 years to complete, but it was worth it. And then he went on to become a fantastic director that everybody was very keen on. There's Brain Dead he's got. There's a game as well called Brain Dead 13. I must find that now I think about it. It's been a while since I've seen it. I think it's a really good movie. A really, really good game as well. But he went on to do a lot of other horror movies and other things. And he just did so well with that one movie. And so sometimes it's worth kind of, bugaboo, I blooming hate this game. We didn't load anyway. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind. I'm not a big fan of Bugaboo. I'm just not very good at it. I think that's my reason why. A Quicksilver game about a flea who gets trapped in a. Let's try it again. This will be what's last on this tape, by the way, because there's no more space for anything else. It's pretty quick for a C90, actually. It's only 45 minutes for side, so that's about right, I suppose. Let's see what else is here, and then we'll try and get Valhalla to load, and then we'll try and get Bugaboo to load, just because some people love Bugaboo. I know people can get out of it in about 10 seconds. You basically start at the bottom. You have to jump in and out of it. I know people who can just do it like no time at all. It's the same map every time. It's a speedrun game if you know how to do it. No space, nothing. No, that's the end of that. And there'll be nothing here. No. That sounded like a screen loading. Let's go back a bit there. Might have just been loading the end of Bugaboo, I suppose. No, I don't think we're going to get anything here, you know. I think we're almost to the end of the tape. We've had a good session here. But the other side of the tape is free. I think. No, it is. Honestly, it's not. I'm not lying to you. It's definitely 3. I actually have already picked another tape for next week. I picked what looks like an absolute stonker of a tape as well. Another one with no details on it. Probably by the similar same moment. I have no idea who the owner of this particular tape was, but honestly, that was a beast of a tape. I loved that. Let's see if we can get Bugaboo to be load from PlayZX. Let's get that thing on. We'll do that. Let's put this tape to one side and put a label on it so I know you've used it. Because that's what I was pretty bad at, by the way. I'm pretty bad at not labelling these things. Let's put this in here. Let's get Bugaboo going, and then let's finish with a bit of Valhalla. The Vikings. Doesn't sound. Do you know something? Viking stuff sounds pretty rough. I think they're awesome, but it sounds pretty rough. It's like pirates, isn't it? So pirates are awesome, but Bugaboo. Bugaboo. Quicksilver. Got it. Play. Here we go. Bugaboo. Yes. There it is. Quick load this one, actually. Yeah, I never really got this one. Never a game that I really struck me as the kind of... I don't know. I think when I first saw it, I quite liked it. Yeah, Unknown Planet Detected. Yeah, that's quite a nice intro, by the way, because it does this kind of little bit of loading as it goes, like this. And it does Unknown Planet Detected. Almat 1. Almat 1 sector. And then you send a space flea up to deal with it, and there's a dragon that tries to eat him. So that's the big thing. You have to avoid the dragon as well. You have to get out of the pit and avoid a space dragon. His name is Fred. No, I'm only kidding. That would make him another Quicksilver game. Some of these covers, though, let's talk about the advertising for a bit. Actually, no, I was going to talk about Steven Jackson, but I'll talk about advertising first. I always felt the Quicksilver let itself down with the quality of its art style stuff. It could have done so much better. It felt like an afterthought, especially things like Bugaboo, with just like a gigantic flea leaping at you. But it's not really well done. It's like reds and whites and a bit of black. It's really pretty poor. But Steven Jackson. So I was looking around, looking for things that I wanted to add to my sort of collection the other day, and what flew past was a whole bunch of fighting fantasy books, including sort of mostly Steven Jackson as well. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I have to admit, I do like a bit of Steven Jackson. I'm a bit of a collector of sort of odds and sods and related to that, and so I collect things like, one of my favourite sort of card games is simple card games. If you want a simple card game and it's worth playing, and you like a combination of cheating and having fun with friends, then I highly recommend Munchkin, because it is. Oh, what's it doing now? Okay. Life evidence, HA state, sequential system activated. It did that on purpose. That's really weird. Anyway, if you're interested in sort of card stroke, it's not really a board game, because you can have a board, but it's almost pointless. It's just to do with what level you are. But Munchkin's pretty good. It's pretty sensible. It's quite a nice game. But there's a lot of series of Munchkin you can get. If you're into Marvel, you can have Marvel Munchkin, because he sells his soul to the devil, as you know. Marvel Munchkin, you can get Warhammer 40k Munchkin. You can get the standard Munchkin. You get Munchkin in space, Munchkin zombies, and then all of them are individual either modules, or you plot them all together, or you just buy one box, and it's like 20 quid, and there you are with this game that you can play with friends. It's quite good. Here we go. Special mission. I think this is it, by the way. I think we're loaded. We're loaded. We're about to land on the planet. Quicksilver presents. It's quite nice to get an intro, though. I forgot about the intro. I forgot that was a thing. Let's have a little look and see if I can find Valhalla while we're doing that. Is it Valhalla? Have I spelled it right? I've got it. Valley of the Dead has also come up. That's really weird. Yeah, so I forgot I had a nice intro. So it was rare back in the day. There's a beautiful one from on Freddie Hardest. Freddie Hardest is a space jock, effectively. He gets drunk and then decides to kill aliens. It's just awesome. What a way to go. Go on, go for it, my friend. There we go. So we leap off. This is us surveying the planet as a space flea, having a little jump around. Oh dear, we're banging our heads on stuff and it looks like the graphics are broken. It doesn't look like it's loaded properly, look. And then we jump too far and then we fall down a hole. Oh no, we fell down a hole and we can't see what's going on because the graphics are broken. Oh no, we're at the bottom. I think we may have crashed. It's a space flea. We've crashed. It's not very exciting. Let's carry on. But it was clever for the day, wasn't it? It was clever for the day. I'm not a big. You don't see me get about 3 feet in the level. Honestly, it's not. I'm not joking. That game never quite stuck with me. Never quite gelled with me. Was it re-released on the Amstrad or something else, like Roland in the Cave? I think it was called. I think it was Roland in the Caves or something similar. Roland was like, hanging from the ceilings or something similar. No, I have to say, not a game that for me, not one that got me, not the one that struck me, but yeah, but I'm a bit of a fan of sort of board games, sort of simple card-based ones. I think they're quite good fun. This probably stems back to my interest in Magic the Gathering back in the day. I used to play Magic with my friends, and we used to quite like it. I'm a proper nerd, aren't I? I really am. I'm not even frightened of it, and I was never frightened to be a nerd. I was always cool with it. It was never a problem for me. I was always cool with it. I'm actually not a nerd. I'm a geek. That's what it is. There's a big difference. Nerds tend to be introverted. I tend to be a bit more extrovert, as you can probably tell, because I've got a YouTube channel and I make a lot of noise and I chat for ages and I've got a mouth on me that keeps on going and so people tell me I'm so quiet. Nobody ever tells me I'm quiet. Ever. Why use 2 words and 50 will do. It's a good way of being in life, it's a good way of being. Probably need a book written about me. I'm sure there's some writers watching this, Jason. To be fair, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm getting quite old now, and a lot older than I was when I was in my 20s. But I've had one of the most. I would certainly agree that within my life I've had an interesting time. Where I've worked and what I've done, I certainly have had an interesting time. I've met interesting people and I've done interesting things. To clarify, from sort of sitting in celebrities' houses and drinking coffee with them while watching their producers take people in and out of the place. I've done all kinds of bits and pieces, and I never really. It's not one of these things that I particularly. I have many a story now as I get older. That's the one thing to say. My head is full of them, and they're all completely pointless and mostly useless for most people. But the information is in there now. It's there. It's gathered, and it's interesting to have those stories. What was I saying the other day about something? Somebody said something, and I'd had a similar experience. This is the thing. There's similar experiences in life and similar sort of things that were going on. I can't remember what it was actually. It's now gonna haunt me that I don't know what that was. But the point is that if you can have at least look in your head and say, I've had a relatively interesting life and I've done the things I want to do for the most part, most bits and pieces that you would like to do. I've done most of them, but I'm still learning even now. I try and keep my brain alive. I think that's very important. One thing I do like to do is, I think one of the reasons I quite like doing this is to keep my brain alive. Keeps me ticking through all that vast quantity of useless information. It keeps my brain alive. It keeps me thinking and busy. The older I've got, the more I do maths in my head as well. It's one of the things I do. I think it's very important to still be able to do mathematical formula without getting a calculator out of it. I just think it's important to stimulate those parts of your brain that involve thinking and problem solving. I think it's very important. It's good because I feel, I often feel in my life, and this is probably a terrible analogy, and I apologise to anybody who otherwise, but I just feel like I'm a little bit like when I end up at a job sometimes. I often feel like I've been parachuted in there. I was part of the an elite squad or something similar. I'm the guy who can get it sorted, and that's how my life has always been. Whenever things go really badly wrong with something, it's me they send to sort it, and I love it. It's one of those things I absolutely love. I love walking through the door. And I had something the other day. I literally walked through the door. I plugged it in because I'd sort of been called to do it. And I plugged in my laptop and just went, right, I know what this is. I was done in 15 minutes. but that's experience. That's life experience. That's computer experience, and there's no substitute for it. And I think that it's very lovely that the concept of saying that people's equal wages and equal whatever else it is. But how can you give an 18-year-old the same wages you'd give me if the 18-year-old doesn't have that life experience? You can't just automatically insert it into their heads. They have to learn it themselves. So there is a thing about this. I have a little bit of thing about that, because experience does take a little bit of coming across and sort of doing bits and pieces. Now we're going to be on Valhalla. We've got a castle which doesn't look very Norwegian at all. I would have suggested it would be more Motte Bailey than it would be this kind of thing. You are in Valheim, which is an area of the lakes of Asgard. Asgard being Asgard's the heaven, isn't it? Asgard. There's lots of things. There's a dragon there. Thor. Loki. You. Alright, that's the names of the things that are on the screen then. North is blocked. You go west. And there's another castle. Strangely, Aswad are the keys for this. You're in the mountains of Asgard. I've gone north. Oh, there's people appearing. You go west. There's more people appearing. Wonderful. It's one of those games that clearly needs the manual. Came in a lovely cardboard box, I remember. Cardboard clam with a plasticated inlay. I think there was several versions of it. I think there was a cardboard one, and there was a plasticated sort of clam as well, clamshell. It was one of those games that I feel like I would want to learn how to play, but I never did. South is blocked. West. North. You go north. You are in Asgard. It was a comic book. It's Thor Ultimate, I think it was. So Marvel Thor Ultimate. Asgard is destroyed. I can't remember why, but they then. It's my favourite thing about this is the Asgardians that are left decide that they're going to settle in the desert somewhere, and then this is the weird thing that happens, by the way, during the sort of 90s comic books. They weren't doing very well back then. They really weren't. Right. So 90s comic books, and they decide that they're going to build a sort of Asgard outside and whatever else is outside in sort of the desert. And the local sort of council or district turns up and says they can't do that because they're saying, but yeah, but it's an empty bit of desert, nobody's living here. Yeah, but you can't do that. You have to pay taxes because you're on the land. So Thor lifts the place up and makes it float via their version of magic or science that they do by 12 meters, so that it's no longer on the land, so they can avoid the tax. This is Marvel of the 90s. This is the same time when give the wine to you. Right, okay. This is when the Fantastic Four lost the Baxter building and had to move out into a flat in Brooklyn and take up normal jobs. This was the 90s Marvel. 90s Marvel was so bad. I mean, you talk about, good and bad stories. It was so bad, it was good. That's why it's so memorable. It's hilarious, almost. I bet there's somebody along the line going, good God, I wish we hadn't done that Ultimate Range. But anyway, this was Valhalla. I've been your host, Real Genetic Team, and thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next week, and we'll see what's on this other crazy tape that I found, and that'll be fun. I'll see you later. Bye-bye now.